What word of advice would you give to couples who are starting to date again or want to give love a chance, looking for love, have given up on love, or already dating or in a relationship?
Okay, I think most importantly, most importantly, if if you're looking for love, right, or let's say you're starting to date again, I would say, my advice would be to take it slow. Not too slow. I'm not saying that you have to be like a snail, but you have to take things a bit slow, because rebuilding or building a relationship can take time, and it takes time and patience. I think it's important to communicate quite openly about past issues, and to ensure that you and your partner are both on the same page. Now, I say communicate. Of course, people think communication is just talking and talking. So sometimes people will just talk at their partner and in the hope that the partner will just hear them. I think it's quite important to understand that as you're talking to somebody, that they actually do understand what you're saying. We're not really good. Most people are not really good at comprehension or understanding. I think we're prepared. Yeah, I think we're prepared to. Sometimes, as people, we're prepared to talk or to communicate, but most people, they communicate in order to respond rather than to really understand, okay, what's this person saying? And then how do I then, either respond back to what they're saying or just even agree to what they're saying. But, I think, taking it slow and communicating openly about, whether it's your past issues or just any sort of concerns. So at least you can ensure that, yourself and your partner are on the same page is what I would say is one advice. I think you also need to, as a person, this goes for both sides, right? You need to reflect on anything that may have maybe gone wrong previously, and work on personal, as in your growth. Because if you know certain things didn't work out, or certain things maybe were the cause of previous relationships not working out, then that is ideally that you've at least, identified a potential thing that you can work on. So I think it's quite important for people to work on themselves first, and basically be in a position where you can say, okay, you know what, I know maybe I've got these shortcomings. So as a person, I'm going to work on these things so that in the future, at least I can say, you know what, I've self-identified any potential sort of small things that I can improve on for my own growth. I think it's quite important for people as we are to sometimes realize that we're not perfect. And because we're not perfect, having the opportunity to work on yourself and to basically grow as a person is quite important.
Yeah, that's right.
Another advice is, I think it's quite important to, especially if you're giving love a chance, right? Like, it's quite important to this other person that you're going to give your love to. It's quite important to be able to be open And I do mean to be really, really open and vulnerable. Obviously, I'm not saying that to do that day one. I think some people, maybe due to previous experiences or just their demeanor anyway, can be very guarded. So, you're guarded and you're protecting, or you're looking after your heart in many ways. But then when you're very, very guarded, then all that's happening is you're not really creating a genuine connection, because a lot of the things that you might be wanting to create could be superficial. So I think it's hard for me to sort of say how, because there isn't like a solution. There isn't like a magic, if you do this, then you can let your guard down. But I think as a person, you need to just prepare yourself that putting the past be in the past. You need to work out of a way to slowly but surely, let your guard down. As you develop this connection with the person, you need to keep reminding yourself, like, you know what, it's safe for me to get to a place where I can say these things, because you know what, I want to continue to build a genuine connection with this person. So I'm going to say things that may put myself in a vulnerable place, because essentially I'm telling this person maybe my own real deep inner things. But then obviously that should also be, it should go either way, right? Whatever you say, I'm hoping that the person will also be reciprocating and at least sharing their own genuine and feelings.
Yeah.
And I think whilst I'm saying that, actually, I think it's quite important that it's quite important that you should use your past experience to give. Sorry, you can use your past experience to guide your decisions, but don't let it define your new relationship.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's very.
Because some people, they will use the past experience as a means to sort of say, like, my new relationship has to be this, but it's like you can't really define your new relationship based on your past experience, but you can use the experience to guide your decisions. So sometimes, even if something might appear as if it's the same or it's going to be similar, you can't just be yes or no. You almost have to, as I said, I think the way I'll say it is use your past experience to guide your decisions, but don't let it define. Because I think the most important thing is don't let it define your new relationship.
Then how about the ones who are already in a relationship?
I think if you're in a relationship, right, like it's a similar thing, right? Like, because everything I said, I think you can be applied whether you're just looking for love, or you're already, like, you may have found your somebody, right? If you found your somebody, I don't think if anything I said is can't be applied. I think they can definitely be applied. So I don't think if I would say anything different if you're already in a relationship or if you're already in love. I think, to be fair, one of the things I can add is just be yourself, be authentic. Don't try and be somebody that you're not. At the end of the day, if you're authentic, then when you're finding someone, or when you have found somebody, I think it's quite important to show yourself, because only that, only if you and your partner can know each other, then the most important thing is appreciating like each other for who you are. Okay, I think we live in a very dangerous world now where sometimes people might want to be a particular way because of something that they have seen on social media, or they think they need to be this type of way because maybe it's going to suit or it's going to show them a really better side of them. But then if it's not authentic, eventually you're going to get found out. Okay? Like habits die hard. Like, so if you're a particular way, if you have particular habits and you try to not be authentic and you fake yourself, eventually your habits will come back and they will expose themselves. So I would say just be yourself, and also like stay positive and patient. Don't try and force anything, and stay positive. Like sometimes, yes, it's very hard out there, not gonna lie. But I think the way I've seen, recently, in my own life, is that love often comes at you when you least expect it. So if you're not staying positive and if you're trying to rush things through, you'll either make the wrong decisions, or if you're negative, the mindset would just be in the wrong place. So sometimes love could come knocking, and then if you're not prepared for it, it might be a shock. So you need to just prepare. You need to almost like have this positive outlook, and then be patient, because although it's hard, but love is definitely out there.
Okay, I think you're done.
I think the last part you asked me is if you've given up on love, right? Or something like that. To be fair, if you've given up on love, I think you need to first of all look within. You need to spend some time, almost like actually focusing on self-love. Forget loving other people for a minute, but more the case of what do you like doing? What do you enjoy? How do you make yourself happy? Because I think it's quite important for some people to understand. In order to be able to love somebody else, you should be loving yourself first. And obviously, when I say that, I'm talking about identifying things that you enjoy, your interests, and then making yourself happy and build your own confidence. Because I think if you can do that, if you can make yourself happy, so if you're loving yourself and you're building your confidence, I think only thing that you can do is actually you can attract a person that will do all the things for you, because you already know essentially what makes you tick. And if you've definitely given up on love, I would say stay open to the possibility that love can happen when you least expect it. So don't be disheartened, and just stay open-minded. And then I'll just sort of finalize with saying, if you're already dating or if you're already in a relationship, I've maybe talked quite a little bit just before about communication. I think it's really, really key to have regular, honest communication. And that communication has to have understanding and a connection. I think if you're not having honest, conversations with your partner, it could end up in a place where later down the line there's going to be some friction. Because you both should be able to sort of say, you know what, we need to either talk about X, and then we need to actually talk about X and really put certain things on the table and have a really good conversation about any problems or any it doesn't have to be problems, just everything in general. Sometimes it could also be just about positive things or future planning, but you need to really, really be able to communicate quite clearly and have genuine understanding between each other. And when it comes to that, I think if you're already, in a relationship or dating, I think it's important to show appreciation. I think, and when I say show appreciation, obviously, some people may take that very differently in terms of what the intention is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend money every day, every week. Sometimes you just literally just have to express gratitude and appreciation to your partner for the little things, Of course, yes, having the ability to do romance and the things that maybe, I don't know, if you, for example, if you really understand your partner's love language, of course, that's even, it probably puts you in a very stronger position because you understand exactly what certain things may make them tick. But I would probably say, if you're in a relationship.
Affirmation, oh baby, you look hot today.
Exactly. Exactly. No, seriously, I'm not even joking, right? Like, you just need to regularly never forget, like, the little things, whether you do it every day, every morning, whatever, right? Just the little things matter. Yeah, like, where obviously sometimes it's hard for you ladies. Sometimes it's hard for you ladies because you're like, do I look good in this? And that could be a trick question.
Yeah, but you said if you post this picture, you look so handsome. Don't post it.
Hold on. We're not posting pictures. Hold on. No, seriously. I think it's important to express gratitude and show appreciation for your partner because without that, right, it can lose, or you can almost like say if you're not doing the small things, then the big things are not going to matter anyway. So yeah, I'll say
for the ladies, we are on for the small things.
I think you know what I think we're all, even for men. Sometimes we're built different. There are guys who may not necessarily know how to, like, work with their feelings or their emotional understanding of certain things. So like, just hearing a little something, it can make your day. A little something can make your day, right? Because you could be having the hardest. You could either be having the hardest day, and then you meet up with you meet up with your person, or you speak to your person, and like they could say just one or two small things that any stress that you may have had immediately just, I'm not saying it vanishes, but it can just be like put in the back of mind because you're like, oh, you know what, I needed to hear this, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, I would say I think that's probably me because otherwise I might be talking for too long now. But I think all the things I've said are the advice that I would give for couples who are starting to date again or want to give love a chance. So really hoping that hopefully this goes towards aiding or helping anyone. And then I'm not an expert, but those are the things that I would say I've applied or I am applying myself. So yeah, I think it's working. So that's what I'm willing to share anyway.
Oh, wow. I think you have actually touched every angle, I can say. There's nothing more left for me to say, but I think I'll just add into something. above everything, I think there is power in prayers, because sometimes in these relationships there's no right or wrong in doing something, but I believe when you sit down and talk to God, He answers. So we need to believe and pray with your partner as well. It is really, really important, and it is really, really a good thing to have faith. So that is pretty much I can say, because you actually said everything. You didn't even leave a key point for me to add on. So
Yeah, I think actually the one thing now. Yeah, sure.
So I was saying, I was talking about prayers. I think that's pretty much, it sums up the conversation.
I think actually to just expand a little bit on your prayer points actually. Realistically, whether you're starting to date again, whether you're giving love a chance, whether you're looking for love, whether you've given up on love, I think it's definitely important. Obviously, if you're already dating or in a relationship, I think it's definitely important never to forget God in all that. To be fair, because I think it's important to definitely to pray or to be aligned in your values, especially if you're in a established or establishing a relationship. I think it's important to establish some core values, and by putting God first. Yeah, exactly. By putting God first and can definitely help in terms of at least being aligned on one of the values, because I think it's definitely important. I think it's not just it's quite important to be able to at least to see or to probably share at least one thing with your loved one, in terms of like, okay, you know what, like, I don't know, let's say, and I'm not saying that, I'm not dictating that you have to pray together every day or whatever, but at least having some sort of like, you know what, like, yeah, there might be days or whatever that we'll be doing this. We're doing this to strengthen our own union, and yeah. So yeah, I would just support what you said, actually, because that if I was to redo what I just said, I think I would have said that first. But thank you for sharing the part of our prayer. To be fair, yeah.
I guess that's it. Is there anything left?
No.
Okay. Okay then. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.